Well, let me welcome each and everyone to Say Eben Media Sports Extra on YouTube. And like I always do, it always ready to serve you the best of sports and content. The Blasters of Ghana have a new coach in Carlos Queiroz, and the Portuguese has been tasked with the mandate of seeing Ghana through the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He's on a 4-month contract, and we are in on Say Eben Media Sports Extra on YouTube to give you a breakdown as to what you can expect tactically from Carlos Queiroz, and also why the Ghana Football Association probably conceded or opted for Carlos Queiroz and not Paulo Bento or Fernando Santos. Do well to subscribe to Say Eben Media Sports Extra on YouTube for the very best of sports and content. So we start off with the Ghana Football Association settling for Carlos Queiroz and not any other coach. I believe the first reason why the Ghana Football Association went in for Carlos Queiroz, or Carlos Queiroz had the nod, his activeness. I think he's a bit fresh compared to other coaches who were linked to the Blasters coaching job. The last time he worked as a coach was on the 26th of March 2026. So he's also a bit abreast with the modern trends in coaching. So activeness really played a role with regards to Carlos Queiroz getting the Blaster job. The second reason will, of course, be experience. He comes in with tremendous experience. It is one thing he does not lack as a coach. He has it in abundance, having coached Iran at the World Cup in 2014, 2018, and 2022. And also, he coached Portugal during the 2010 FIFA World Cup. And he has that connection with the African continent. In fact, he was born in Mozambique, and he has also coached Egypt, South Africa. I think he was on the books of South Africa and actually helped South Africa qualify for the 2002 FIFA World Cup. So experience is something that I think the Ghana Football Association conceded, and compared to other coaches, I think it was a step in the right direction going for Carlos Queiroz. And last, I'll be giving you his coaching style, what to expect from Carlos Queiroz, tactically, what to expect from him as a coach. And qualitatively, he is a defensive-oriented coach. He is very pragmatic. He is very compact with regards to how he sets up his team. He is a disciplinarian, and he has pedigree. For a coach to work successfully with Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, for him to have a second stint at Manchester United, clearly gives us that indication or paints a good picture to all of us that he has something unique, because it will take, or of course, it will take something special for you to work with Alex Ferguson, not only once but 2 times. And also his trajectory as a coach or manager. He was also the coach who won the Under-20 World Cup with Portugal in 1989 and 1991. And that was the golden generation of Portugal. The likes of Luis Figo, Rio Costa, and co. He was the gentleman who coached them at youth level. And he's also had stints with Real Madrid, the Galacticos era. And we can also look at his experience when it comes to coaching on the international stage or level. So he's very pragmatic, very compact, and he puts premium on defending more than attacking. So he's that coach who sets up his team to defend very well, look for openings, and try to hit the opponent on the breaks. Now, tactically, he is noted for the 4-2-3-1 formation and also the 4-1-4-1 formation. So either 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-4-1 formation. So with the 4-1-4-1 formation, clearly he has 5 players in midfield, 1 player as the focal point of attack. So whenever his team gets the ball, 2 will move from midfield and join the arrowhead, making it 3 up front for Carlos Queiroz. That is, of course, when his team is in transition, and with the 4-2-3-1 formation, at least he has more legs in midfield as well, and he can also decide to have 5 players right in front of the 4 defenders with 1 striker or 1 player leading the line for his team. So very, very compact, very, very strong in defense, and also for you to be successful with that style, there's one character trait you ought to have: being disciplined. And he's a disciplinarian. The last time I checked, Patrice Evra, former player of Manchester United, spoke highly of Carlos Queiroz, and he intimated that he is one coach that, as a player, you will enjoy his training regime or his training session. You are going to enjoy it. And also, he does not laugh frequently. He's not fan of laughing. So hardly will you see Carlos Queiroz laugh or smile. He means business. He is the Spartan type. He is a serious-minded coach who hardly laughs. And also, we can look at his strength in youth development, like I said earlier, on what he achieved with Portugal in 89 and 1991, and also his impact at Manchester United, helping the likes of Patrice Evra rediscover their mojo, and also his influence on young Cristiano Ronaldo. And he's also the type of coach who tends to perform well with teams that most people do not fancy of performing well in a major tournament or competition. In as much as his best performance at the World Cup is getting to the round of 16 stage, he was able to qualify Iran to the World Cup, not only once, but 3 times. So at least he has the experience, and he's that coach that you can trust to also do a quick fix positively. Will give you that quick fix, because we saw how the Egyptian national team was struggling, and he took over that was the AFCON in Cameroon. He was in charge of the Egyptian national team, and nobody gave them that chance of getting to the finals of the AFCON, and he was able to achieve that feat with an Egyptian team that was not really a powerhouse in terms of personnel, in terms of big names, and in terms of having that rich vein of form. So tactically, expect Carlos Queiroz to be compact with the Black Stars, play either the 4-2-3-1 formation or 4-1-4-1 formation. And I think that his appointment is a step in the right direction. You can have your view on his appointment in the comment section. Probably you are not too much enthused with his appointment, and you think that he's at the wrong side of age. and we could have gone in for a better coach. You can share your view in the comment section. But as for me, sitting here, I believe he is a good coach, has experience, and experience is very, very important. The last thing that we look at is his team not being set up to go and dominate in terms of possession, but clearly to win the battle in transitions, to win the battle in shots on target, to win the battle by being tactically disciplined. So that was the World Cup in 2014, Argentina versus Iran. Iran lost by a goal to 0, and guess the goal scorer, Lionel Messi. That was 90+1. So Iran clearly were the underdogs. They went into the game, and most people were expecting that Argentina would give them cricket scoreline, but Argentina really struggled, and they scored at the death in injury time or additional time. 90+1, Messi getting the only goal. So when it comes to possession in that game, Argentina had 70%, Iran had 30%. Now shots on goal, Argentina had 9, Iran had 4. Shot attempts, Argentina had 19, Iran had 8. And corner kicks, Argentina had 10, Iran had 6. So pay attention to Iran, because we are looking at Carlos Queiroz, and he was the coach of that Iran team. So with 30% possession, they were still able to create. They were still able to shoot. They had 8 shot attempts with 4 on goal. So in as much as Iran in that game did not dominate with regards to possession, they were still able to cause havoc against Argentina. So we move on to Iran versus Portugal. That was in 2018, and Carlos Queiroz was the head coach of Iran. In fact, in that World Cup, they beat Morocco by a goal to 0. They drew against Portugal, and they lost 1-0 to Spain. So after 90 minutes, it was 1-1. Iran had 33% in terms of possession. Portugal had 67%. So with the 33 shots on goal, they had 2 shot attempts. They had 8 yellow cards, 2 corner kicks, 1. Portugal, I'm not interested in the stats of Portugal, but this should tell you something. 33%. So it is very likely that the Black Stars of Ghana will go into matches at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, maybe against Panama, against England, against Croatia, and they will not be interested in dominating the game when it comes to possession. They'll be getting the 30-somethings, the 40-somethings, the 20-somethings. But at the end of the day, they will still cause havoc. They will still have that impact in shots attempts, in shots on goal. Now we move on to Iran versus Morocco. That was in 2018, during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. So his setup was a 4-1-4-1 formation. Carlos Queiroz with Iran. In that game, he played 4-1-4-1 formation, and Iran won by a goal to 0. Possession, his team had 37%. Morocco had 63%, and yes, still Iran won. Now let's look at shots on goal. Iran had only 2, Morocco had 3. Shots attempt, Iran had 8, Morocco had 13. So in as much as they had 37% possession, they were able to shoot 8 times in that game. So they no go balls the game when it comes to possession, but Charlie, them still go cause havoc. Them still go impact the game in the attacking third. And that is all about Carlos Queiroz. And he can be a bit attacking minded as well. That was in 2010 against North Korea. Portugal won by 7-0, and he was the head coach of Portugal. Now let's look at the stats. Charlie, a decorated monkey is still a monkey. This one with no malice or with no insults. It is just a saying. So you cannot change Carlos Queiroz. Portugal scored 7. They won that game by 7-0. And let's look at possession. In as much as they attacked very well in that game, they were still not able to overly dominate when it comes to possession. So this should also tell you something, that his team is not, he sets up his team in a way and manner that they don't show much interest in possession, but they tend to be more clinical in the attacking third, put premium on transitions, stay very compact. Portugal won the game by 7-0, but they had 55%. This is a game that Portugal really dominated though. North Korea recorded 45% of possession. Portugal had 55%. So even the North Korean team that struggled in that game, that was shambolic, they were able to record 45% when it comes to possession. And Portugal that scored 7 recorded 55%. So the disparity is not huge. A close one when it comes to possession. So clearly, this gives us that perfect picture. And as a Ghanaian, don't expect Carlos Queiroz to set up the Black Stars in a way and manner that they will dominate with regards to possession. They will play that fancy football, that beautiful football, that aggro ball. Don't expect that from Carlos Queiroz. Per what I've given you, per the matches he has been involved in with Iran at the World Cup, even with Portugal, that they were on super form, scored 7 goals, they were still not able to overly dominate when it comes to possession.